And I'm very pleased to be in Cygnet today, particularly in the Lovett Gallery. I know from many visits here, because Paul does shifts on Saturday afternoon and so on, that this is a community spirit in a room which is very, very inspiring to be part of. So I'm honoured to be this month on show here at the with such fantastic variety of artists from this region, and these photographs are my parallel universe. If I wasn't in politics, I'd be a photographer, and I'm not so sure that the creativity doesn't run through both. I'll just talk about one or two of them. For example, this picture on the Huon River. Now that's taken just a bit upstream, and I was driving around to Cygnet and saw there's a bushfire. Well, it's not, it's a regen burn, one of these going off, and but I saw this unfolding late in the afternoon, the sun setting, and it was a scramble down through the bush to get onto the shore. And when I got to the shore, I saw upstream about 500 metres somebody sitting in a boat, and I could see the sun setting. I could see the smoke cloud blowing, and just a couple of seconds later it would have been too late because the sun would be exposed and the photograph wouldn't work. So whoever that is sitting in the boat, I'd love to know. They must have wondered who this mad person jumping logs and sprinting up the bank of the river over the boulders and so on to get that shot was, but I did, and there you go. It's just a happy conjunction of a very thoughtful person out on the Huon River. Right over on the far side in the middle row there, second from the end, is a guy from Oatlands. And I'd just come to Tasmania, and I was driving up the Victoria Valley Road, because I used to drive around of a weekend to have a look at this splendid island. And it was then the big agistment. So the sheep are being brought up onto the Central Plateau for summer. And it took half an hour to get through the mob. There was 10,000 sheep there. This is gone. And when I got to the front, I asked the gentleman if I could take his picture, and I drove a few hundred metres up the road, parked the car, stopped and waited till the mob got there, and that was my first successful photograph, because remember the beautiful Australian Women's Weekly? Well, in 1973 they printed that picture. So here it is, and it's Paul's farm, the big picture over here on the left with the rainbow, and you'll all know the lookout up there, and Paul's sheep down there, and so I had many a happy afternoon or morning helping round up the sheep. I obey orders and can get round them very quick, and I know which whistle means what direction. And I usually get fed afterwards. So, and just this picture, it's the spikes on a eucalypt. Actually, it's fallen, so the tree would be that way, but it's a debrided eucalypt in the Brindabella Range west of Canberra, and when you look at it, it's like a landscape, a fantastical landscape. And I was planting daisies, and Paul said, "Hey, come and have a look at this." So I did, and spent a little bit of time getting that picture. And this, of course, which is on the flyer, we were having a walk around the paddock there at Randalls Bay just a couple of weeks ago, and walked past a fantastic little piece of the universe which we have in this beautiful island of Tasmania. It's a joy to be here, and here in this one is the Lone Devil's footprint. That's a Central Plateau tarn that's dried out, and so it's the mud on the bottom of the tarn has dried out and is cracking, and you'll see the devil's broken through there, and you can see the footprint there. And just after that I saw a big boulder, and I was going to go and get on top of that to get the panorama, and there's a big bush underneath, and when I got into these bushes, suddenly there was this phenomenal roaring and screaming, and I felt my ankles were going to go. I backed out very fast, but the devil, I got too close to her young ones, and this huge display. I never saw it, but this huge display of get off this territory, and I did what I was told. And Wyberlina, of course. The reflected tea trees of the where the Aboriginal peoples off the mainland were taken to Flinders Island, and the broken window pane. You can see the reflected tea tree and pane, and the women wept openly of their longing for the rushing rivers of the Tasmania they had been dispossessed of, writes the chronicler of the terrible dispossession of the indigenous Australians, Tasmanians, onto Flinders Island. I thank the Lovett Gallery, and I thank the inspiring community in which we live, and I've got a great deal of pleasure. I'm just so happy to be here. I'm going to Adelaide tomorrow. Goodness knows from there, but this is what makes the boilers fire, if I can use that fossil fuel alternative these days. So thanks for coming, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy the afternoon. Thank you. Thank you.